like, okay, back to the other story. It was a lot harder to get the deer's head into the mini fridge than it was to take it out with the spine still attached. There's no way out of this. I'm just gonna go order pizza. Chiyo Mihama, soon to be known as Chiyo-chan, is excited about starting her first year in high school, but also a little nervous. And she has every right to be, because she's only 10 years old. She was moved up several grades due to being a brilliant prodigy, but she's had to leave all her old friends behind.
Cooking is so fun. Cooking is so fun. Now it's time to take a break and see what we have done. Yay! It's ready!
Dang, how can one girl be so totally adorable, huh?
Despite being out of place, Chiyo is happy to discover that there are lots of other odd ducks in this school that make for great friends. There's Tomo, the bratty, hyperactive wildcat of the school.
I am so totally late! Holy freaking crap! As punishment, I'm gonna stand right out here in the hallway. See ya!
I couldn't care less, you know.
And her calm but self-conscious childhood chum, Yomi, who has little to no patience for Tomo's nonsense. There's also Sakaki, the tall, beautiful, and athletic idol of the school, who is hopelessly shy and in love with all animals cute and furry, which are often horribly afraid of her. Last but certainly not least is Osaka, a space case with a gentle disposition that barely covers up for her downright unsettling trains of thought.
In other words, let me explain it.
I didn't ask.
Well, you see, there'll be lots of cats and dogs inside the cafe. And they'll all be dead.
No matter how crazy the year gets, this group of newfound friends sticks together, and it certainly does get crazy with teachers like their homeroom language instructor, Miss Yukari, who may have long graduated high school, but apparently never really left.
Believe in yourself!
You do that.
Oh my god. Her best friend and PE teacher, Nyamo, is much more reliable and happy to have moved on from those petty days.
Love letter, la 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 lovey, lovey letter, love chubby, love letter.
Sort of.
Wow. Yukari must have something on her.
To say nothing of the creepy, slack-jawed Mr. Kimura, who seems to have gotten into teaching for all the wrong reasons.
Mr. Kimura, why did you decide to become a high school teacher?
'Cause I like high school girls, that's why!
Later they'll meet the athletic Kagura, who admires and emulates Sakaki, and soon joins the group of ragtags, and the sweet, neurotic Kaorin, who more than just admires Miss Sakaki. Let's leave it at that. Once the bell rings and class is in session, it's time to get schooled in total nonsense. On the technical side of things, Azumanga is a gag-based show, so they get to skimp on the visuals quite a bit. The backgrounds are simple, the character design's basic, etc., but the animation does what it needs to do, and the comedic timing is spot on, so that's really all that matters. Well, that and it is really, really cute.
What did you do that for?
I just sort of felt like it.
The music is nothing special, the standard synthy, fluty stuff you hear in most slice of life, but it will get stuck in your head, along with the cutesy-wootsy theme songs like Sora Mimi Cake and Raspberry Heaven. See, even the names are on the verge of giving you diabetes. Maybe it's only the iconic status of the series at this point, but I think the fact that even the eye-catch music is instantly recognizable means some evil mastermind of catchy jingles was behind the score for this series. Vocally, I find myself in the difficult position, much like in my Baccano review, of recommending a language track that isn't inherently better than the other, but culturally just lends itself to being more appropriate. The English dub of Azumanga is really wonderful. Clearly a lot of love was put into it, and if you're more of a dub person, then I highly recommend it. However, because the show relies on an immersion into Japanese culture, puns, sometimes speech styles, it makes a little more sense to default to Japanese regardless. The series is still funny in English. Kira Vincent Davies is a sweet, southern-sounding Osaka, Lucy Christian is hilarious as Yukari, and Jessica Boone sounds almost exactly like the Japanese Chiyo. But if you're aiming to get into the feel of a Japanese high school and how the characters fit into it, the Japanese track is just going to serve you better in this instance. If all you're looking for is a good laugh, though, I don't think it matters either way. When discussing classics like Evangelion and Cowboy Bebop, I've often had to take a different approach to discussing the material, so I won't be repeating what everyone else has already said. And Azumanga Daioh is no exception. Shows like this, high school escapades usually focused around a group of girls and their crazy classmates, are a dime a dozen, and discounting hardcore otaku for a moment, they aren't the most popular genre overseas. They have a very loyal, very loud, and very small fan base. But not so with Azumanga Daioh. It's the quintessential high school comedy anime. Its jokes and characters have become tropes into themselves, and unlike comedies like Lucky Star, Zettai Karen Children, and others, it has very few haters. So the question is, what makes Azumanga Daioh different from all these other doofy high school comedies? Well, a good number of things, actually.
We ain't afraid of roller coasters no more.
For one, it doesn't seem to have the large elements of moe fan service that plague a lot of high school girls' comedy. I don't just mean moe in like the sexual sense of playing up the girls' unrealistic character traits and adorable physiques as wank bait, but also in the otaku-centric sense of making all the jokes for anime fans and anime fans only, or just hardcore nerds in general. The girls are seen in swimsuits now and again, in gym clothes, yeah, there are moments. But the show doesn't spend a lot of time putting these girls up on exhibition for the unspoken sake of fan service. In fact, whenever the girls are being, like, unusually hot,
An American! There's an American among us!
Osaka or Kimura will call them out on it, so it's more of a matter of verisimilitude in the story than it is trying to get its audience off in secret. Or at least it isn't so blatant about it.
Hooray!
I love those pants very, very much. Yo amo te.
Then there's the humor, which has nothing to do with catching references to other anime or popular cultural memes like most of these easily dated other comedies, but it's based around simple sight gags, everyday situations, and yeah, the occasional bout of bizarre surrealism when one of the girls dozes off.
¿Cómo estás? Bien, gracias.
Oh my god!
It's all about letting all the characters just sort of bounce off each other naturally, and everyone can enjoy the show, even younger kids, as the few bouts of adult content here are restrained and will go right over their heads. Speaking of those characters, Azumanga also stands out in its refusal to use high school stereotypes as bait for cheap humor, or at the very least, just create brand new stereotypes. As over-the-top and silly as they are, none of these memorable girls are the jock, the prep, the otaku, the shy one with glasses, like most other uncreative anime comedies. I have to wonder if the author didn't base them on high school girls he actually knew and just simplify them down a little bit, because more often than not, they feel like friends we've all had, not cartoon characters with cliched traits. I think at the very least, everyone knows an Osaka and a Yomi, and we're probably all pretty sad that we're friends with a Tomo as well.
If I were to lose this key right now, we wouldn't be able to get inside the house! I did it! But what the hell for?
Lord knows there are also far too many Miss Yukaris in the world, which might be a reason she's one of the funniest characters. It's just truth in television.
You probably think being a teacher is a job even stupid people can do. I'm right, aren't I? If being a prodigy's gone to your head, I'll be happy to knock that right out!
Past that, it's hard to pin down what actually makes Azumanga Daioh funny. Some people are just not going to get it at all. Unlike most anime that are based on long-running manga, like serialized comic books, Azumanga was based on a 4-panel gag strip, more like the Sunday comics, and so its stories are broadcast in 5-minute pieces full of quick gags and then recombined later into full episodes. In that sense, it's piecemeal and Seinfeldian. It's nonsense humor about those weird little moments in life that you spend with friends and then can never really explain to anyone else afterwards. It's the you had to be there story.
What are these things? That one there's a dog, and that one's a cat. Or is it the other way around?
The difference, of course, is that you are there for Azumanga Daioh, and the characters become sort of like your own friends in some weird way, letting you in on the joke. That's really what makes it at all funny, and it probably should have just been called Awkward Turtle Moments the Anime. If that's your style of humor, then there's no reason not to check this out.
Then what's the small one in the corner?
Oh, that's Hanshin.
Hanshin?
That's right. Hanshin.
But the best thing Azumanga has going for it that really makes it stand out, well, it isn't ageless like a lot of comedies where the characters all stay in high school, and it isn't entirely episodic. The audience follows these characters from their first year of high school up through graduation, through all the seasons and all the ups and downs. Now, it is all pretty silly, there's no serious drama to be found here, but it has lulls and peaks of its own, festivals, vacations, stressful finals, all the things we remember and can identify with, and despite having no real sad scenes, the final day of high school for all these characters can be pretty emotional.
Damn it! Let's go and drink another round! Alright, and you're buying!
The only thing that keeps this show from feeling like the kind of high school experience we all wish we had is there are no parents in the story, which is a little alienating and kind of takes away the pseudo-realism of the humor. The girls kind of get to do whatever they want with their authority figures far off screen. Wish we had that, privilege. And the teachers are more like big kids than foster parents. Not that that wouldn't be cool, but it is in direct opposition to the more realistic feeling aging of the characters and all. Anyway, that doesn't really matter much. Watching these characters grow and experience the world afresh through their high school years in such an innocent and quirky way makes this class a classic you shouldn't be skipping. Azumanga Daioh is available from ADV Films. The original manga by Kiyohiko Azuma is available from Yen Press. Ironic for it being a short-style series, it's packaged in these massive omnibuses that you could beat somebody to death with. Sorry, another awkward moment. A 6-minute promotional short called Azumanga Daioh, the Very Short Movie, is also available from ADV, included in the original release of this series, but not the more recent thin-packed version, just a heads up for more anal completionists. Another 4-minute promotional short, Azumanga Web Daioh, was only released over the internet and it features entirely different cast in Japanese, none in English, but hey, canon is canon, right? All in all, Azumanga Daioh kind of leaves me at a loss for conclusion. It is what it is, and to try to add anything more to that might result in another strange, speechless gap of logic like the ones you see throughout the show. It's funny, but not raucously so. You kind of have to be in the right frame of mind to enjoy it, and it's familiar to anyone who's been through high school. The good news is, I think you can tell from episode 1 whether you will love it or hate it. For going past the expected norms for a high school comedy and becoming quite a quotable classic, I give Azumanga Daioh 3 awkward silences.
We're Team Yukari! Yay!
We're Team Sea Slug. Huh? But why? Sea slugs are so... Go Team Sea Slug! Yay!
What are you two up to?
Oh, thinking about hemorrhoids.
No, we weren't.
Osaka, what are you doing? You know those tiny bubbles inside your eyes you sometimes catch? Yeah, I'm tracking them down as we speak. I see. Good luck with that. Thank you.
Out of 4. I look like I could eat a baby with these pigtails, don't I?